Good evening, everybody. I'd like to call to order a meeting of the Board of Trustees of the Urbana Free Library here tonight on November 10th, 2020. And pursuant to state executive orders, which temporarily suspend the in-person presence requirements and eliminate the limitation on remote access of the Illinois Open Meetings Act due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the board is suspending the usual electronic attendance and voting section of the board bylaws and will allow all board members to attend this meeting remotely and fully participate remotely. Okay, so the next order of business is swearing in the new library board trustees. Now, what I don't have is the swearing in oath.
Barbara should do that as secretary.
Oh, that's right. Thank you. That's right, because Barb, as our
Secretary.
swearer-in, Barb, would you please swear in our two new board members?
I don't have that in front of me. Let me
Right. If you have email, you have your emails open because I did email it to you.
Okay, I will get it right now.
I sent it.
Sorry, guys.
Okay.
It's taking a minute to load.
Okay. Monday the 9th, about 8:47 in the morning, and then I sent about 11 the one for John. So
I don't have that open. I'm sorry. It didn't go through.
okay.
Can you just forward it again, Becky?
Yes.
Forward it to my other email, could you please? I'm having trouble getting into the other one.
Okay. So just fill that one, and then I will forward the other one to you all.
Okay, thank you. Okay, here we go. I apologize, guys.
Hey, these are our Zoom getting used to things. We're doing it. It's all good.
It's working just slow, that's all. Okay. First of all, does it matter who I swear in first?
It does. You can go in alphabetical order, it'll be fine.
Okay, so Gloria, and then how do we spell it? I don't have the names for the other gentleman.
Mark is M-A-R-K. Pellmore, P-E-L-M-O-R-E.
Okay, thank you. I'll go with Gloria first. Okay, I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Illinois, and I will faithfully discharge the duties of the Office of Library Trustee to the best of my ability.
So,
Gloria,
unmute. And so, Barb, normally, if it's easier sometimes if you say like a sentence, then Gloria can,
sure.
and
Okay.
then Gloria can repeat that sentence after as much as remembers, so then she can get through the whole oath.
All right, thank you.
Unless she's got a really good memory.
Okay, let's try this again. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
excuse me, and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the Office of Library Trustee
of the Office of Library Trustee
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
All right.
Yes, thank you.
Mark,
Yes.
I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and I will faithfully discharge the duties of the Office of Library Trustee
and I will faithfully discharge the duties of the library trustee
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Very good.
Wonderful. Thank you, Barb, and welcome. We are thrilled to have both of you on board. So this is just wonderful. And now,
I'm pretty sure you're both trustees and you didn't just get married.
good point. So now, with a full set of trustees, Becky, would you please do the roll call?
I will. So y'all need to unmute because I'm going to call your name and you will say here. So we're going to go around my little Hollywood squares here. Barbara Bennett,
Here,
Lupe Mejia,
Here.
Gloria Yen,
Here.
Mark Pellmore,
Here.
John Thies,
Here.
Beth Scheid,
Here.
Michael Weissman,
Here.
Sharice Hersey,
Here.
Jane Williams.
Here.
Okay.
Wonderful. Thank you. And now, Barb, if I can call on you again to please elect our new president of the board, John. So can you please read him the election oath?
Don't we need to, do we do a vote first? Yeah.
Yes.
I think you need
Oh,
to do a vote.
wait,
Yeah.
we do. Yeah, okay, let's see.
So old fashioned.
Yes, it is. Okay,
So we need to vote. Yes.
we need to vote. So,
Popular or electoral?
what's not?
Yeah.
Hopefully
So,
both.
yes. So what I will say is, all in favor?
No, we need a motion.
Oh, we need a motion because, yes, sorry, obviously, yes, this is.
I
way too late
move to,
Thank you.
I move, or can I do that? I'm not on the nominating committee, am I?
Yes.
No, you can, any board,
Yes.
yes, so please, Sharice, please move.
I move, move for John Thies to be voted in as the new board president.
President.
I
Yes.
second.
All right, and now, all in favor?
Roll call vote.
Roll call.
Roll call.
Everything has to be roll call.
Unfortunately, while we're, usually we just do all in favor, but with
Yes, thank you, and,
remote, we have to do roll call. So here we go again. Barbara
Okay.
Bennett,
yes,
Lupe Mejia,
Yes.
Gloria Yen,
Yes.
Mark Pellmore,
Yes.
John Thies,
I think I'll abstain.
Beth Scheid. You can say yes.
yes,
Michael Weissman,
Yes.
Sharice Hersey,
Yes.
Jane Williams.
Yes.
Okay.
and now with that, we'll turn back to Barb to have the wonderful duty of swearing in John as our new board president.
John, do you solemnly swear
I solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
I don't think he's hearing you.
I think
And the
it'll help you
I,
soon.
the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the Office of Library Trustee,
No, it's
And that
supposed to be
the
president,
Office of Library,
president of the library trust. Yes.
President of the Library Board,
that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the Office of President of the Library Board.
to the best of my ability.
Hopefully you heard that. Okay, to the best of my ability.
Yes.
Good.
Wonderful. Well, let me be one among many of us to say I am so thrilled that you are in this position. I will now happily hand over the control of this agenda to someone that hopefully has had more sleep than I've had lately, so we can have a smooth running of the rest of the meeting. So welcome, John.
Thank you, Beth, and everyone. Thank you so much. And I hope if I keep talking, maybe my connection will stay solid, because I think I keep losing you occasionally. But I want to start with a couple of quick thank yous, and then we're going to get right at our agenda. First, to my predecessor, Chris, who isn't here. I want to thank him for his service, and express the desire of all of us that he won't be a stranger, and that we'll continue to keep him in the library family. I appreciate that. Beth, you've done an excellent job, not just in the last few months stepping in, but also in the entire tenure that you've had on the board, where I've overlapped with you. I've seen nothing but the utmost in professionalism, and I am so pleased that you'll still be. Thank you for that. To the staff, I'm hopefully smart enough to know that in an organization like this, when you're a volunteer leader, you are there to provide as much help as you can to staff, because it's the staff that really makes organizations like this run so smoothly. We have a superb staff. Our new board members are going to learn that right away, and we're very fortunate in the city of Urbana to have really such a phenomenal group of people that care so much, not just about our library, but about our community. So thank you to our staff. To our new members, to Mark and to Gloria, you can see that already, hopefully, that this is a group of people that likes to, they will work hard, but they also like to have a enjoyable experience. And we never want to forget that each of those who serve on this board are volunteers and don't have to be here because they care about what it makes the organization as a whole a better organization. So thank you and welcome again on behalf of all of us on the board. So with that, I will move on and ask if there are any additions, corrections, or modifications to the agenda. Seeing nobody. Oh, I see Celeste. Celeste, you're muted.
We were going to give Mark and Gloria a moment to introduce themselves also.
That's right. Let's start left to right on my screen and go with Mark. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, what brings you to here? It doesn't have to be 30 minutes long, but give us a few minutes of who is Mark Pellmore.
Hello, everyone. I'm Mark Pellmore. I'm a resident of Urbana. I graduated from Urbana High School, went away to college, went away to the military. I've been gone 30 some odd years, and I've been back in Urbana almost, not quite 3 years yet. I am an entrepreneur, heavily involved in the community. I use the Urbana Library a lot to do some of my research, so I'm very familiar with the services and the facilities. I'm just glad to be part of the hometown, I guess, again.
You're adding to the list of former Urbana High grads that are serving presently. So I don't know how many. I know there are at least 3 of us now that fall into that category. So thank you, Mark. Yep, Sharice is raising her hand. She's there. She was a year ahead of me, but she looks much younger. Okay, Gloria, tell us about you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Gloria, and I was born and raised in the Chicago suburbs, the North Chicago suburbs, pretty close to like Evanston, Libertyville, Gurnee areas. And I've kind of bounced back and forth a little bit between there and right here in Champaign-Urbana my entire life. So first time was coming here for my undergrad. I graduated from the U of I with a degree in musicology. And then the second time around was coming back with my husband back in 2017 when he started his PhD studies in the civil and environmental engineering department at the U of I. And A fun factoid about me, I guess, with relation to the library is this was actually my first job when I returned back to town. And Dawn, I think, was actually on my interview committee. I think I remember sitting across from you and Satterthwaite. And currently in the community, I serve as the director of the New American Welcome Center at the University Y and have had many incredible and wonderful opportunities to continue partnering and collaborating with different library staff in that way. So I totally echo your sentiments, John, in that the staff at the library are just truly, truly incredible and committed to the community. And I'm really excited to be a part of this and to serve alongside each of you. So thank you.
Thank you, Gloria. Okay, are we ready to move on, Celeste? She's not. Yep, you're giving me 2 thumbs up. That's good. All right, then we'll go on to additions, corrections, modifications to the agenda. Anything to report? Seeing none, is there a motion to approve our agenda this evening?
So moved.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
Who first did that? Because I
Oh, that's right. We got to be, for Becky's benefit, I'm going to say Beth. Beth was the movement and Sharice was the second.
Okay.
Okay, is there any discussion on the motion? All those in favor, please say aye.
No.
Roll call.
Okay, this is going to be hard for me.
I know.
I have a routine when I run meetings, and we have to do this. When we get through COVID, our meetings are going to be cut in half. I promise you. Okay, Becky,
I do
roll
it every
call.
week with city council, so that's the only reason why I'm like, hello, roll call.
Barb.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's gonna run through the
Becky, roll call.
Yes.
Okay. Gloria.
Yes.
Mark.
Yes.
John.
Yes.
Beth.
Yes.
Michael.
Yes.
Sharice.
Yes.
Jane.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, the motion carries. Thank you. And then move on to item 9. Barb Jones is retiring this tonight when we were going to celebrate her, but we're going to celebrate her nonetheless. And there's a resolution that is included in your materials. And since it will be in the minutes, I don't think we need to read it here. I might have read it if Barb were present, but is there a motion to approve that resolution?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved by Michael and seconded by Sharice. Could we please call the roll?
Barb.
Sorry, pardon me just a second. Is there any discussion on the motion? All right, seeing none, please call the roll, Becky.
Barb.
Yes.
Lupe.
Yes.
Gloria.
Yes.
Mark. Oops, you guys switched on me all of a sudden. John.
Yes.
Beth.
Yes.
Michael.
Yes.
Sharice.
Yes.
Jane.
Yes.
Okay. Who did I miss? Did I miss anybody? Because like I said, I was going around. Mark. Okay, I was going around the circle and all of a sudden it
Yes.
on me. Yes, sir. Okay.
Yes.
Good deal. Okay.
Okay. Okay, I think we were unanimous. The ayes have it, motion carries. And I will say, for our new folks, Barb brought a lot of tremendous knowledge of, as a librarian herself, tremendous knowledge that helped us in so many things, so many ways. And I'm sure we will see more of her and have the chance to thank her personally. But in the meantime, we will send her this resolution so she'll know that we did this formally, but we should also extend our private thanks as well. All right, so let's move on to item 10, which is public comment. Is there any public comment?
There is none that's come in by email, no.
All right, we'll note for the records that there's no public comment, and so we'll move on to item number 11, presentations as to fiscal year 21 per capita grant requirements. Don and Drew.
Good evening, everybody. I'm going to attempt to share my screen. Becky, hopefully this is going to work.
I'm making you co-host even as we speak. Okay.
All right.
You should be good.
All right, let's find it. So far, so good. All right, so good evening, everybody. And we've got 3 chapters to cover this evening. And I'll take the first 2 and then Drew will take the 3rd. So let's see if I can click through. Excellent. Okay, so the first chapter that we're going to talk about is personnel. And I'm talking to you about this because that is one of the areas in my purview is human resources. I'm happy to say that the library does meet the state personnel standards for Illinois public libraries. And I'm just going to go through what the standards are. We do have a staff handbook and board approved policies for personnel. So the staff handbook is more procedural, but we have many, many individual policies related to personnel to kind of keep everybody on track. We've got job descriptions for every position in the library and a wage chart. So those are provided not only to staff, but also to prospective applicants. We meet and comply with all of the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission and Americans with Disabilities Act requirements with regards to hiring and to personnel. We also have a very strong employee orientation with a lot of checklists, and these are included all, everyone goes through these checklists at their orientation, and there's also library-wide ones and also departmental ones. So I think everybody has a good footing when they start at the library. We have great support for conference attendance, trainings, and webinars. Of course, ever since COVID started, everything has been online, but we do have individual budget lines for travel and training. And so when we have interest, we express interest to our supervisors or they express it to us, and we support that wherever possible. We also have access to library literature and professional development materials for all staff. And we make an effort to make all of you as trustees and all of the administrators and managers aware of federal, state, and local statutes and regulations. And one thing I want to say is we are members of an organization called HR Source, which has been, I must say, critical in helping us navigate and understand all of the new regulations and laws that have come out, especially since COVID, you know, with emergency personal sick leave and the Families First Coronavirus Response Act. There's so much and so much changing. So that's been really critical. So just a thank you to Celeste for supporting that throughout my time doing personnel stuff. We're compliant with state and federal laws affecting library operations. And another thing on the standards is that salaries and fringe benefits should be 70%, up to 70% of total operations budget. And Celeste helped me run the numbers, and we are just under 70%. So we are on track with that. The one area where we're still working is towards annual staff evaluations. And I believe I talked about this last year, that we wanted to make sure that the strategic plan was in place and that the mission and goals for the library were established. So we've accomplished that. And now the next is the activity plans for all the different departments. And for once those are finalized, and those are very close to being finalized, it'll be much easier to set personal goals for each of the staff members because they'll be based on what the departmental goals are. So we're making our way through that whole process and getting much, much closer to that. We're also going to be considering whether or not to split off the evaluation process and have it be different for full-time staff, you know, who are here 39 hours a week versus say a shelver who might be here for 10 hours. Do those processes need to be the same or different? We'll be looking at that as well. So that's what I wanted to say about personnel. And one of the other areas in my purview is circulation. So that's why I'm talking to you about system member responsibilities and resource sharing. And I'm happy to announce that the library does meet the state's system member and resource sharing standards for Illinois public libraries. Again, we try very hard to make staff and the board aware of Illinois Heartland Library System and Illinois State Library Services. We're active participants in interlibrary loan, reciprocal borrowing, and system delivery. We get deliveries 5 days a week from Illinois Heartland Library System, which is the maximum that can be. So we are moving materials back and forth all the time. We're very cognizant of abiding by the Illinois Interlibrary Loan Code and any other agreements. And we do have staff, administration, staff, and board participate at various levels of IHLS, Illinois Library Association, and the Illinois State Library. Mark and Gloria, Lupe is a board member of IHLS, and we just recently had several different staff members, I think 4, who presented at the Illinois Library Association virtual conference in October. So good participation in all those areas. And we do promote statewide tax-supported public library service for every Illinois resident. One area that we are working towards, and I think there's something on the agenda for tonight, is that currently in Urbana, people who are experiencing homelessness do not have access to library cards where they can check items out because it's based on a residence. We are working actively with the township to make sure that this hole is filled and we can offer that service as well. So we are very much promoting and actively trying to get that public library service for every Illinois resident. And because we are following and meeting all of these guidelines, we are eligible for state grants, including the per capita. And that's partly what we're doing tonight, is meeting those state guidelines to get the per capita. So that's my part, and I'm going to turn it over to Drew to talk about our technology in the library.
Hello, everyone. So the technology portion of this is about 3 pages long. It's on page 38 if you'd like to reference it. I put some of the highlights in here. As you can see, this photo is of one of our new self-checks. We've had really positive feedback from patrons about this. I overhear patrons talking about them pretty frequently with enthusiasm, so that's good. But I'd just like to say that the library meets the state technology standards for Illinois public libraries. As you all know, the Internet Acceptable Use Policy was reaffirmed at the September board meeting. We continuously strive to improve our technological services, resources, and access. And the library protects the integrity, safety, and security of its technological environment. The library maintains, troubleshoots, repairs, and replaces computer hardware and software. The library ensures adequate technological access and maintains appropriate hardware and software to accommodate both library operations and patron needs. The library participates in the Illinois Telecommunications Backbone, which is Illinois Century Network. And we provide a sufficient number of patron accessible workstations on a per capita basis with minimal wait times. Technology department is wrapping up our tech plan for 2021 and participating in the activity plans related to the library strategic plan. There's a lot more new and exciting things coming, and we're constantly adapting, especially in the new circumstances. So lots of good things happening.
Okay, Drew, thank you.
Thanks.
Any questions for Dawn or Drew?
Just one for Dawn. Dawn, just the HR source. So is that like a newsletter or a website? Do you get alerts saying, oh, hey, another new change in laws, policies, whatever? So what form does it take?
A little bit of everything. There is a weekly newsletter and they have like 3 or 4 articles in it. And if anything has happened in the past week with regards to guidance from the Department of Labor, or this has come out, you get that. And they regularly, I mean, at least 3 or 4 opportunities a week for webinars related to, I was telling Rachel today, I think I have sat through, and it sounds like an endurance thing, but like 7 or 8 different webinars just on the COVID related legislation since March, because every couple months things change. And one thing that we've also really relied heavily on is they've got this HR hotline. So if you've got kind of a situation and you're not sure how to handle it, you can call, you can talk to attorneys, and you can talk to their specialists who, just HR specialists. So depending on what the topic is, but free of I say free, it's all included. So like, normally an attorney is going to have quite a hefty hourly fee, but we've already paid for more than our subscription just in consulting with attorneys. So it's just been invaluable to keep on top of it and make sure that we're following what we need to do with regard to all different kinds of personnel laws and regulations.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, aside from the hefty fee comment, I'm going to take that as a net positive for lawyers. Okay, any other questions?
Me.
Great. Oh,
Me.
who is
See,
that?
my
Is
hand
that
is up.
Sharice? Oh, I don't, I don't see you. We don't see your face, Sharice, at least I don't. So go ahead, Sharice.
Well, that's because I'm kind of running around kind of doing stuff and you guys don't need to see that. We have this training thing and I don't know if
Okay.
it's pertinent. What, this training thing with sexual harassment that we have to do? Okay, so that's part of the human relations thing?
Yes, that is a requirement for all employers to provide that annually to staff members. It's not a requirement for the board, but we thought it would be a good idea as representatives of the library and, to know what is expected of staff. And so we provided you with that opportunity as well.
Okay, because I haven't finished it. I started it and then I had to stop. But
Yes,
is there a due date on that?
December 31st, it's required. And so we'll be providing this opportunity to all staff every year with a December 31st deadline. And Mark and Gloria, I will get you loaded into the portal. And so you'll be receiving a couple of emails and I'll send to get you situated for that. But it's about, I want to say just under an hour's worth of time to click through all the pieces.
And you, just to underscore, it's not an obligation of a trustee to do this.
Right.
Many of us are doing it, our own workplaces are required to do this. And so many of us are doing it. It's available to you as well. I'll just say, I think it's useful to everybody who serves in a position of authority like this to go through it, if not through the library, through, there are a number of different methods that people are using to communicate this to people. And some of them are on tape, some of them are materials, some of them are, it's just nice that the library has made it available to members of the trustees so they can see what our staff is doing. Okay, any other questions?
I'm just going to add to what you just said, John. This particular program, I think it took me 52 minutes, is one of the more well put together programs. And I've had to train on a number of ones, and this one gets high marks. I think it's very clear. It's just well put together. There's been some programs that just aren't as well done. So I recommend this if you've not had a chance to do this one yet.
Okay, good report. All right, let's move on then to item 12, which is the action items or consent agenda. First, would anybody like to remove anything from the consent agenda? Okay, I see no one doing that. Is there a motion to approve tonight's consent agenda? And when you do make the motion, please list each of the items.
John, you're really breaking up a lot.
Okay, so shall I say that again?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll try that one more. I'll try that one more time. I'm watching to see if my border is on. That's probably the best indicator. So
it could be the storm. I don't know.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Let's see. I'm going to call.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm like hearing every other word.
ID followed by pound. enter your participant ID followed by pound. Otherwise, just press pound to continue. You are in the meeting now. There are 16 participants in the meeting. This meeting is being recorded. You have been added to the waiting room. You cannot talk or listen until the host admits you to the meeting.
Oh, there we go.
And now it's echoing.
Hold on, I'm gonna mute.
There we go. How's that?
Oh, much better.
Okay, Sharice, I caught that line about every other word you were listening to, so hopefully you got the best ones. Now what I will do is so no one has asked to remove anything from the consent agenda, and I'll ask that there be a motion to approve the consent agenda. And when you make the motion, please list each of the items that are in item number 12. Okay, Sharice.
I move to approve the consent agenda items, board meeting minutes of October 13th, 2020, payroll for October 23rd, 2020, total $95,779.94. The payroll for November 6th, 2020, total $96,651.88. Bills for October 15, 2020, total $13,924.40. Bills for October 22nd, 2020, total $15,141.17. Bills for October 29, 2020, total $10,426.05. Bills for November 6, 2020, total $29,164.22.
Thank you, Sharice. Is there a second to the motion?
This is Lupe. I second.
Okay, any discussion? Okay, clerk, please call the roll.
Lupe,
Yes.
Beth? Okay, you're muted, but I saw you. Okay, John?
Yes.
Okay. Michael?
Yes.
Gloria?
Yes.
Mark?
Yes.
Beth? Barb?
Yes.
Sharice?
Yes.
Jane?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, let the record reflect that it's unanimous. The ayes have it. The motion carries. We will now move on to item 13. 13.1, Resolution 2020-14 to accept the gift of service from Fred Schliff. That resolution is in your materials. Let's have a motion to approve, and we'll get it on the record. So is there a motion to approve that resolution?
So moved.
And is there a second?
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Discussion. We had a little opportunity to talk about this the last time, so we've had some benefit. I particularly want to leave time in case Gloria or Mark have questions about this. But I think it's pretty self-explanatory if you read through the materials.
I do have one question.
Okay. Sharice.
So he is, I'm trying to understand if he is offering also to model up, so to speak, additions to the library, or how the library would change, or is it just because he was talking about a program. Would that include design photos or drawings, Celeste?
No, the program is a list of needs for what we need the library to have, what the staff and the community and the boards say that we want to have. And then what we would do in the future is work with an architect to develop a physical building, the physical blueprints.
Okay.
And Fred has
Okay,
offered to come to, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
He's offered to come to a future board meeting to talk about the process and lay it out for you so that you know what the different steps are and the different pieces.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments? Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Would the clerk please call the roll?
We'll go backwards this time. Jane? Jane?
Yes.
Okay. Sharif?
Yes.
Barb?
Yes.
Mark?
Yes.
Gloria?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Beth?
Yes.
Lupe?
Yes.
Okay, we'll let the record reflect that that was unanimous. The motion carries. And now let's move on to 13.2, second cooperative agreement of December 2004, notice of 2 years for possession of the Morrow building. Okay, that resolution is also in the materials. Is there any further discussion about that? Any further description, Celeste?
So this one is not a resolution. It is you, the board, deciding, staff's recommendation to the board is that you say you do not want the foundation to ask the city for your right of first refusal. We do not have the capacity to rent out the building that's already there. We have no need to pay extra for the space because at that certain time frame, the building will come to the library for free. So we recommend that you vote to not ask the foundation to ask for possession of the building.
Which one is the Morrow building?
It's where the Bluebird Boutique is.
Okay.
Southwest corner.
Okay. Because I was looking at the photo and I'm like, where is this? And
Bottom
now
left.
it's, yeah. Okay.
Okay, is there a motion to the effect of what Celeste described?
Yeah, like what she said.
Said that about Hillary, for that got her.
I need some clarification. So we're voting to not say that again, Celeste.
To not
We
want,
recommend-
to not ask
we
the board for the trustees to get the building right away. We want to wait.
Okay.
And we want to tell that to the foundation.
Yeah, sorry, foundation.
Okay, the move by Michael, is there a second?
I second Barb Bennett.
Okay, any further discussion? Okay, Becky, please call the roll.
Lupe? Lupe?
I think I'm still a little confused. So the motion is to hold off. So, okay, so yes.
Okay. Beth?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
Gloria?
Yes.
Mark?
Yes.
Barb?
Yes.
Sharif?
Yes.
Jane?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, the record will reflect that it was unanimous. The ayes have it and the motion carries. 13.3, resolution 2020-15 to accept gifts.
This is for, I move to accept the gifts regarding the Lois Brighton Estate and the Urbana Free Library Foundation. Lois Brighton Estate in the amount of $30,000 unrestricted. The Urbana Free Library Foundation, 720 restricted to Chinese language books.
Okay,
Second.
consistent with the draft that's in the materials, I gather, and it's been moved by Charisse and seconded by Lupe. Is there discussion?
I have a question.
Okay.
Lois
From Charisse.
Brighton. Lois Brighton.
Yes.
Yes. Is I just wanted to know, like, who is she? Is this an old estate? Something that we're getting from. I just want to know where the money's coming from, I guess.
I think it's her. I think it's her estate, and I don't know a lot more details about the gift, but I do know the family well, and you probably remember some of the Brightons that were. I think there was one that was a class ahead of you. They lived on Green Street and obviously strong supporters of the library.
I remember Miss Brighton that, and I don't know if her name was Lois, she was a Girl Scout leader for a long time.
I think that's who it was.
Okay. All right.
So unless you have anything to ask, Celeste, we'll go ahead and assuming no more questions.
Gloria?
I answered my
someone
own question. I was confused when I was reading the director's report about how $30,000 could be going to two different places, but I looked at it again, and one is a revenue line and the other is an expense line. So
You got it.
Okay, thank you, Gloria, for that clarification. Becky, please call the roll.
Lupe?
Yes.
Beth?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
Gloria?
yes.
Mark?
Yes.
Barb?
Yes.
Sharif?
Yes.
Jane? Yes. Okay.
All right, and then we have 13.4 fiscal year 21 budget amendments. Celeste, you want to tee that one up? I think this is in your this report.
It's in the director's report on page 4. So given that you have just voted to accept those two gifts, we want to put them into the expense and revenue line. So they would go into the donations, contributions, and gifts line, and then the appropriate expense lines. So since we don't have a spending plan yet to bring to you for that $30,000 bequest, we're going to put it in the other library materials line in our gifts fund, library trust fund. And then for the money coming from the foundation through the foundation from a donor, it's going to go to a library books line so that we can buy those Chinese language materials. And then we have one other request to move $3,000 within the adult and youth services budget.
Thank you, Celeste. Could I have a motion to approve that change?
I move that we approve the budget amendment, the details of which Celeste just presented.
Okay, and is there a second?
Second.
Second by Michael. And is there discussion or questions? Sharice.
Okay, so with the adult and youth services request, we're subtracting money from the DVDs to get for, I don't understand database charges expense line.
Sure. So I'm happy to answer that for you. What we're seeing is a change in the way that movies are being released for children right now. Many movies are being held off. And so since there aren't as many releases, we've evaluated what our patrons are using and why, and we would like to move the funds to database charges. Database charges is the line where we have all of our databases come out of. And many of course, our patrons are utilizing our electronic resources at this point in time.
Okay.
Thanks for asking.
Okay. Thank you.
Any further questions or comments? Hearing none, Becky, please call the roll.
Lupe?
Yes.
Beth?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
Gloria?
Yes.
Mark?
Yes.
Beth?
Already did, but I'll
Beth.
vote twice.
Barb, I'm sorry,
Yes.
Barb. I looked right at
Yes.
Barb and said Beth. Sorry, Sharice
Yes.
and Jane.
Yes.
Okay, Beth, the Brady Bunch never had this problem, I know. The beginning or the end. So I let the record reflect that it's a unanimous vote and the ayes have it, the motion carries. All right, let's move on to items 14.1, Friends. Do we have a Friends report?
I don't have one at this time. Celeste, have you heard anything?
Just that they're currently still selling books online. The Amazon store is still going strong.
14.2, Foundation.
You saw that the foundation has kicked off their annual campaign. It looks wonderful. I hope you took a moment to see the video. Anna Merritt spoke on why she gives to the Urbana Free Library Foundation. Amanda worked with a student. It was her semester project. She did several interviews. So if you check out our website and our Facebook page, you'll see more interviews of community members who are donors speaking about what the Library Foundation, what the library means to them. It's quite moving. So I would say give early and often.
We're coming to the end of the year. That's the best time. Okay, 14.3, Heartland Library System, Lupe.
Sure. Well, first of all, I hope some of you were able to join us today for IHLS's first virtual Members Day. I actually took the day off of work and got to commit the entire day to the conference, my first IHLS Member Day. So it was really a very well done program, a wealth of information that I feel both energized, but also a little challenged and overwhelmed with all the ideas and things that came from it. So as a relatively new trustee and someone coming completely outside of the library world, it really was a wonderful opportunity for me to learn more about my role as a trustee, but also just kind of learning more about the role that our staff and our administrators and things play. So I hope everybody was able, or if a few of you were able to join. It really was a great program. And then just other updates, the materials and tub quarantine was reduced down to 5 days as of October 30th, based on last touch. And that's still something that is kind of a moving target as we get more information. So.
Okay, thank you, Lupe. Administrative report.
So Lupe, that was a perfect tie-in to what I just want to touch base on with the looking at COVID data, what we're learning about COVID regularly. There's still new developments all the time, whether it's how well people are not wearing their masks across the state, what the numbers are looking like. So this is a reminder for the whole board and for Mark and Gloria. We have different service models that we have figured out so we can serve the public in different ways to do our best to keep staff and the public safe. So right now we're in what we call a grab and go model. So people are encouraged to come in for an hour or less to get the materials that they want, to use the internet for up to an hour, and then to head back home. We are not having chairs at the tables. We've got the chairs around the service desk to help create that 6-foot barrier, as well as having acrylic shields in place so that there are physical barriers between staff and the public, as well as everyone wearing their masks, staff and the public. We are very firmly enforcing mask wearing. So if someone's got it pulled down over their nose, because sometimes it slipped, we are definitely reminding people and telling them they need to wear their mask, covering their mouth and nose the entire time that they're in the building. And if they refuse to do so, then they are asked to leave. So we're making sure that we create as safe as environment as we can at this time. Also, if people are exhibiting signs of COVID, symptoms like coughing a whole lot or sneezing a whole lot, or symptoms that are self-evident in a manner that looks like it would be unsafe for others to be around them, we are asking that person to leave and offering them the different options the library can provide to them. So curbside service or phone reference. We want people to use the library, but we want everyone to be safe. So currently, you know that numbers for COVID are rising across the state. So be assured that we are watching the statewide numbers as well as Region 6 numbers, as well as Champaign County, and then specifically Urbana numbers. We know that we have staff that live in many different areas, and we know that different people in different communities are following the governors and CDC and other guidelines more or less. Our staff are quite conscientious. People here do a very good job. People are hand washing, distancing, wearing their masks well. So right now we're in grab and go. We can expand grab and go when things are safer and have a longer period of time that we encourage people to stay, and maybe let people use tables and reserve tables like some other libraries are doing. We're putting that grab and go plus off for a while. We're hoping to stay in grab and go, but it's possible, it's very possible that we'll need to move to our by appointment only system, in which case we will let fewer people in the building at a time, and they can make an appointment to be in the library to take care of their library business. So we can still offer in-library service, but it will be fewer people at a time. And then if the numbers look worse, then we can move to a curbside only service so that people are not coming in the library, but staff are still able to bring out your materials to the car, renew your library cards at the car, things like that. So depending on what the numbers look like and what we feel the safety is, we will select from those different service models so that we can provide a safe environment. So know that we are watching.
A couple technical questions on that. You'd mentioned last time that there's some HEPA filters around. I forget, you know, are those just at the desks or are they out someplace, you know, in the places where the patrons are coming in too?
Yeah, thanks for mentioning that. We were thinking about allowing people to use the meeting rooms again and maybe getting some room size air filters. We've only got 2 partner community groups that use the Satterthwaite conference room, and that is the Township and Project Read. And we don't have a filter in there. We have a 2-level filter system on our the big HVAC system.
Okay.
And we've got the MERV, either 13s or 14s on that for the fine weave, and then a bigger filter to get the bigger particulates for that. And they were just between last week and this week changing out the filters.
And what humidity level is, do you know what I know books are fussy about what humidity, can they live with 60% relative humidity?
I don't know the answer to that. I'm going to actually turn that over to Donica, our archivist.
Okay. You know, I know books generally like things to be a little bit on the dry side, but it turns out for these encapsulated viruses, it's good to stay up around 60%. They don't survive as long in the air if the droplets don't completely dry out. Do you know what the target relative humidity is for the
archives?
For the archives or for the library in general? Both?
So for archival materials, it's a wider range, 30 to 50%. We try to keep it around 50%. And at the Lincoln Square building that we have, and then Tepper next door, the library annex, it usually fluctuates between 50 and 55%. But in the building, I've seen it 45 to 55%.
Just a thought, if there's a way to keep it more like 55, there's actually, you know, most things are gradual, but there's a sharp phase transition in the droplets where they dry out around 55, and the this and other viruses survive better in the dried state than in the wet state. And so to the extent that the materials can put up with it, 55 or 60 might be better than at least, you know, at least for the duration.
Sure, and higher humidity for our materials, at least for shorter periods of time, is A-okay.
Okay.
Celeste, I just had a question. Going back to what you were talking about as far as changing the models of delivery, do you have specific criteria that you're using to kind of, you know, make those decisions? Are we going based on the governor's kind of tier system, or do you have criteria that you're using for when we might change the model?
We're looking at the tiers. We're looking at the mitigation levels. We're looking at we're in phase 4, mitigation level 1. In 5, 7, and 8, zones 5, 7, and 8, they're now moving to mitigation level 2, but still in phase 4.
Right.
So then it depends if we're going to move to phase 3. There's a lot of different factors, and then looking at the local number of cases in Champaign County, but Champaign County minus the U of I counts because it changes how the numbers look.
Yeah.
So also talking to neighboring libraries and see how things are working for them, and seeing what plans they're making so we can be consistent. So for example, we talk to Champaign regularly just to make sure that if they know something we don't, and vice versa, we can share that information. So definitely looking at the different elements of what the governor is instituting in the state. As a governmental body, you, the board, voted that the library is an essential service earlier in the spring. So even if there's a stay-at-home order, it doesn't mean that the library has to close per se, because as a government body, you get to choose, and we are essential. Now, if we feel that it is unsafe for people to be here, then we will not be open. But we are working to have staff work at home as much as possible. And so we are taking different steps, again, to create that safe environment.
And one more question, Celeste. With the going, if we do go to appointment only, does the software that we're using now, or you have the technology in place to support doing that and making that transition really easily?
Yep, Amanda worked on that. So we worked on where we were with grab and go, and then what if it got worse? We worked on the what if it got worse part first, and the what if it gets better, and then we worked on that secondarily, so we can go either way and be ready to roll.
Excellent. Well, thank you for that.
Teams of people worked on this. My colleagues are right on it. Really good questions, really thoughtful conversations about how to provide good service in a way that is going to be beneficial to people and not be part of a bigger problem.
Well, and I shared this with Celeste, and I'll share this just really briefly, that you guys are doing an amazing job. My family we're kind of extreme social distancers, partly because of the kind of work that I do. So my children haven't really been anywhere. But they've been to the library, and that is kind of their refuge, as they, and my daughter was not comfortable going anywhere for a very long time, and she's now comfortable. They ask weekly, can we go to the library? So it's really a testament to the great work that Celeste and the entire staff has done to make my family feel safe. They love being there, and really it is the only public building my children have been in pretty much since February. So.
Yeah, thank you for telling that story. Okay, any other questions for Celeste? All right, and let's move on to 16, board and committee reports. Lupe, can you fill us in a little bit on what happened at the ILA conference?
Yes. So, I've just been kind of conferencing for the last 6 weeks straight between now 2 library conferences and my own National Optometry Conference. In the interest of time, I have an entire page of notes that I really had very good intentions of sharing with you. But again, this was my first ILA conference. And I just want to thank the board and Celeste for the opportunity to attend. This one I did have to kind of mix in with my normal daily responsibilities, but the beauty of these virtual conferences is being able to go back and listen in afterwards. So again, a little overwhelming with the amount of information, but I did really enjoy the keynote speaker, Eric Kleinenberg, who wrote Palaces for the People. Really, I thought did a great job of linking his work that he's done before to COVID and our at-risk populations and the opportunities that we have now, and really the role that libraries are going to continue to play in protecting and healing our communities. A lot of good information, especially for a trustee on advocacy. So advocacy for introverts and extroverts. James Bowie did a great thing on empathy and using storytelling and art to really help us bear witness and awaken our empathy. Some fiscal planning stuff that I pushed myself to get through, which I thought was really educational, but a little tough to muddle through. And then I just wanted to give a shout out to Amanda and Rachel, who I actually went back and listened to your presentation after the fact. So a shout out to you guys for a really great job talking about moves management and really community engagement. And I appreciated that just because as someone, again, who works outside of the library world, it's really nice for me to be able to think about how we do engagement in the healthcare system. And bringing those ideas together. So you guys had some really great examples, and I really appreciate your work. So for the other board members, if you do have the opportunity to attend these types of events, for me, they've really been, I told my husband today, it was really wonderful, but I feel really challenged to do more and to keep learning more. So thank you.
Good, thanks for the report, Lupe. All right, let's move on to the board president report, paragraph 17. And 17.1, appoint nominating committee member. Barb Bennett, I was wondering if you might be willing to serve along with Michael as a member of the nominating committee?
Yes.
Okay, consider yourself appointed. And now that you're on the committee, you have work to do, because 17.2, we'd like to ask that the nominating committee develop a slate for the secretary pro tem in light of the vacancy of Barb Jones. So the minutes will reflect that you've been asked to meet and come up with a name for that position. Thank you. I don't think, Celeste, those are not action items for us, are they? I don't believe. And then, so let's move on to paragraph 18, which is unfinished business. Is there any unfinished business? Is there any new business? Okay, which takes us to paragraph 20. In your materials, you have an instruction sheet for us to how we're going to handle a closed session. And this is the first since COVID that we are going to closed session, as I recall, which we're going to do virtually. And the form that you received is a careful overview of how we're going to do this. So we have a separate link. What we've been asked to do is to keep your feed open. Well, we will keep the feed open. Is that right, Celeste? So that someone will continue to monitor the open meeting while the rest of us click on a different link. And I was just making sure that I could do this on a different laptop. So I'm going to switch my camera to that laptop. And unless there are any other instructions, Becky or Celeste or anybody else who knows. Charisse, do you have a question?
I'm just saying we all have to leave this meeting to go to the other meeting.
Correct. You will leave this meeting, and then what we do is you'll click on the link and go to the other meeting and go into the closed session. When we finish with the closed session, then you will actually leave the closed session and come back to this meeting. And this meeting.
Where's the link?
The link, I can send it again if needs be. It went out in an email. It also went out in an invitation, of meeting invitation.
Oh,
Becky, I'm gonna turn off my audio and video, but I'm gonna keep the link. Is there any problem with that?
This is the first time we've done that. I don't know. What do you think, Celeste? I mean,
There should be no problem. You're keeping the line open.
okay.
And I will say that staff, you are welcome to just be at home and not come back.
So yeah.
Thank you, staff.
Yeah, the way it normally works for closed sessions, you guys can leave. And so can our UPT camera person. Yeah, you don't have to, you have to wait around while we go into closed session. So we're recording also.
Yeah, staff members are excused. Thanks so much. Bye-bye. And so now what you're going to do is we're going to all leave or put it on stop video and stop audio and switch to the new link.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm sorry. I need a motion to go to closed session.
Oh yeah, I moved to go closed session.
You got to read the whole thing, Charisse.
Oh, sorry. I moved to go to closed session for the discussion of minutes of meeting lawfully closed under this act for the purpose of approval by the body of minutes and for semi-annual review of minutes as mandated by section 2.06 pursuant to 5 ILCS 120/2 paren 21, and for approval of destruction of verbatim record pursuant to 5 ILCS 120/2.06 paren 12. And
I think that'll do it.
is that it?
Is there? Yeah, you has the class. Is there a second?
I second.
Okay, it's been moved by Charisse and seconded by Lupe. Any discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
Okay, I think we've already lost some of our people who've already headed over. So Lupe?
Yes.
Beth?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
Gloria?
Yes.
Mark?
Yes.
Okay. Charisse, are you still here? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And I think, okay, Barb's already in the waiting room over there. So, okay.
Okay, the ayes have it. The motion carries, and we will go to closed session.
I believe we do, just to come back into open session. Yes. So, okay, Michael.
Here.
Beth.
Here.
Lupe.
Here.
Mark.
Here.
Charisse.
Here.
John,
Here.
Gloria,
Here.
Barb,
Here.
Jane.
Here.
Okay.
Oh, all right. We're back in open session and we have a number of closed session minutes. And we have two questions relating to each. One is whether to approve them, and the other is whether to keep them closed. All right. Whether to open them or not. And I'm gonna, in the case of the first three, there are two of us, Beth and Jane, who were present for those meetings. And if you've got those in front of you, will one of you take the lead?
Sure. I move first to approve the meeting minutes of June 10th, 2014, August 12th, 2014, and October 14th of 2014. So that's my first motion.
Second.
Okay, Jane second. And my second.
Is there a second? Oh, hold on just a second. Is there a second, Jane?
Jane did.
Jane did.
Okay, so it's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Okay, clerk, please call the roll as to that motion.
Okay. Michael?
Here? Yes.
Beth?
Yes.
Lupe?
Wait, I think these
Okay,
are.
well, hold on. Yeah, we were recused if you were not there.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I'm
Oh,
not here.
So
okay.
I'm going to abstain.
Okay. Mark?
Abstain.
Okay. Sharice?
Also abstain.
John?
Yes, abstain.
Gloria?
Abstain.
Beth or Barb?
Abstain.
Troublesome names tonight. Sorry, guys. It's just been a long day. Jane?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
That was a yes from Jane.
Hmm.
Okay, so the ayes have it. I heard no no's, and the ayes have it, and the motion carries. Okay, is there a motion as to those three particular dates as to whether or not to open them?
Okay.
Oh, wait,
Oh,
last is
I'm
gone
out.
time.
So that's 21.2. For 21.1, you're only approving minutes, okay?
Ah, got it. Okay,
All right.
yep, my notes related to them as if we were covering both at once, but we'll do that in a second.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
now in the case of January 14 and February 11, 2020, and March 10, 2020, is there a motion as to those minutes?
I move to approve the closed session minutes for January 14th, 2020, February 11th, 2020, and March 10th, 2020.
I'm sorry, who seconded
Is
that?
there a second?
Jane seconded.
Jane? Okay.
Okay, clerk, call the roll, please.
Okay. Michael?
Yes.
Mark?
Abstain.
Lupe?
Yes.
Beth?
Yes.
Gloria?
Abstain.
John?
Yes,
Sharice?
yes,
Yes.
Barbara?
Yes.
Jane?
Yes.
okay. The ayes have it and the motion carries. And now let's go on to 21.2. And let's see if we can maybe group, we're going to do all 21.1, but just on the question of open or close, correct?
Except again, Jane and I are the only ones who can vote on the 2014 ones. So whether we
Oh,
break it, so we probably need to
no,
break it
no,
to
this-
two.
No, I think.
No, that's not,
Okay, it's okay. They're
no,
because they're all
no,
closed.
we can all vote on whether to,
Right, it's closed. Right, just approval.
we can all vote to
Okay.
close.
Okay, I think
Cool.
Celeste said
Okay, so
earlier. all you
let's
have
go
to-
ahead.
Yeah.
All you have to do is vote to open the ones that you're opening. The rest stay closed by just, that's
Default.
the nature of the minutes. So the only thing you have to do is the three that you're opening, you vote to open those. The rest of them you don't have to list out.
Okay. So
Okay,
I
so is
move
there a motion
to-
as to
okay.
January 14?
sure.
Go ahead,
I-
Beth.
Okay, so I make a motion to open the records of January 14, 2020, February 11th, 2020, and March 10th, 2020.
Okay.
Is there a second?
Okay, and I'll second. Second.
Okay, any discussion? Okay, clerk, call the roll, please.
Okay. Michael,
Yes.
Mark,
Abstain.
okay. Lupe, Beth,
Yes.
Gloria,
Abstain.
John,
Yes.
Sharice,
Yes.
Barb,
Yes.
Jane.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, in every other case, we're going to keep them closed.
Mm-hmm.
And now on to 21.3. And I think we can do this one as a group motion as well.
Mm-hmm.
So is there a motion to destroy the verbatim record of the minutes that are noted?
I still move.
I'm sorry, of the verbatim record that's noted.
I move to destroy.
Okay, I heard a motion.
Yes, I move to destroy the verbatim record of the minutes as noted.
Okay, and is there a second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor, please say aye. I'm sorry, got to call the roll.
Michael,
This is so
Yes.
frustrating. Call the roll, please.
Mark,
Abstain.
Lupe,
Yes.
Beth,
Yes.
Gloria.
I can say yes to this one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, go ahead, Mark.
Yeah.
You can say yes too. Go for it. Okay.
Yes.
In his hand. Okay, we got a yes. Okay.
Yes with passion.
Yes. Okay. John. Okay, they're gone. Sharice,
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Barb,
Yes.
Jane.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for slogging through a very difficult meeting and for your indulgence. I expect we won't have to deal with a lot of these same issues next time. And I apologize for the technology issues because I think that's probably on my end. Staff, unless there's anything else for us to do, is there a motion to adjourn? Okay, is there a motion to adjourn?
I move to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Michael.
Okay, I don't think we're going to worry about the roll for that one. Everybody have a good night.